Wednesday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for just $15. So make your tee time now by calling the Green Meadows Golf Course, 704-827-9264. Green Meadows Golf Course, 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly.
There's no one like you. And Pandora Jewelry is opening up all kinds of possibilities to show that to the world with the new open bangle. Beautifully crafted from sterling silver with new interchangeable end caps. You can mix, match, and even have the freedom to customize like never before. Shop the new open bangle from Pandora Jewelry. Available at Facet Foundry Jewelry Studios, 530 South New Hope Road, Gastonia. Online at FacetFoundryJewelry.com.
Isolated and alone?
That's how millions of Americans feel while experiencing a mental health crisis.
Need to talk? Our providers love to listen.
Call us now at 1-888-235-HOPE.
That's 1-888-235-4673.
Partners, improving lives and strengthening communities in North Carolina. 1-888-235-HOPE. 235-4673.
Man, I only do things incredible can, cause I am seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me, cause I am. And the reason you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you, cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
And good morning, everybody. Saturday morning sports talk. Kevin Hastings here. Mitchem's Kitchen Breakfast. I just finished mine up along with Terry Reinhardt, Ken Link, and John Prather's in the house on the board tonight, or today, this morning. That I don't feel like last night ever ended for me, and I'm guessing it hasn't for Ken yet either. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. Hunter's out this morning. He's getting rested up today, Terry, for today's big broadcast. He couldn't make it up here this morning, but I made it.
Them young guys, they just can't go, you know.
Ken stayed up past midnight last night and then came in this morning. Let me turn Terry up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you never know if they're coming.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. New generation is different. I love the kids. A lot of them, you know, are, well, as Hunter is 20, what is he, 23?
Yeah,
Kevin?
something like that.
You know, that's what I'm saying. But it's like, this is my time. I only live once, and we're going to do it my way.
Yeah, and it's different when we were growing up because now time to them is more important a lot of times than work and money.
It is.
The free time is what's really important to them, to do what they want to do.
I have been around kids who tell me, and people who are young adults like Hunter is, who says, well, you know what, I've got days to spend. If the Daytona 500 was today, then I would lay out because I'm going to watch that because it's another whole year before that comes back around.
Yeah, that's a different mentality nowadays.
I watched when we went to the All-Star race. I don't know if I said on there or not, but I watched a grandfather, might even be a great-grandfather, because the kid was pretty young and he was pretty gray-haired, elderly fella. But he got a. We were given the tickets, so we were right there at the start-finish line, 5th row. He sat in front of us, so he had pretty good seats, right? The grandson probably, I would say, my son's 7. He's a little bit bigger than him, maybe 8, maybe 9. So we sat right in front of the entrance music and all that, the stage and everything. So the jukeboxes are bumping in her face and all that. And the DJ hadn't played a country song yet. She's playing all rap and everything else. I don't know if she knew what her audience was, but anyway, so from the time we got there, Terry, until about 10 laps left in the race, that kid watched or played video games on his phone the whole time. And when I say not once did he look up, not once. Papa bought them both NASCAR hats, and they're sitting there watching the race, and he's up and he stands up when everybody else stands up. He knows everything that's going on, and you know he's been to a bunch of these before. And I sat right behind the kid. I didn't have to stand up once because he was in my way. Not once. I just sit there and we watched him play video games.
We had a great view then.
Yeah, I had a good view. And what was funny though, I will say what was funny. The kid did something funny one time. That it got real quiet, you know, like it was a wreck or something happened, you know, and the caution went by and the blowers were on the other side of the track. Well, you know, I said he was playing a racing game, right? How about when it got real quiet one second, he won whatever race he was doing.
He
screamed out, "Yeah!" And everybody looked around. Everybody saw him like it was quiet, and everybody heard this kid scream, "Yeah!" And I just put my hand over my face like, "Oh my goodness, he's excited about it. He just won this phone race on his phone." Like, at what point do you take that phone away, Ken, at the racetrack after you bought the tickets?
I do it pretty early.
How old was the young kid?
About 9, probably.
Okay, well, yeah.
Probably. My son's in going to second grade. He was older than him, but not that much older. Like, he was young, but he wasn't. He wasn't 12 or anything like that.
Yeah, I always take young kids, especially, and we all know, if you go T-ball wise and they move up to coach pitch, their attention span is very little. I mean, you know, if you can keep them occupied for 15 minutes. Yeah, I mean, you
even
know,
the
you
pitchers
did
sit up
well.
here and kick dirt. And
Yeah, it's
That's
hard to
what I'm saying.
keep them focused. It really is. You know.
Well, speaking of that, Terry, last night we had our last game of the year, and
Great excitement time.
oh goodness, and Ken, I don't know if I've told you before, but the coach gives the most inspirational speeches to 7-year-olds you've ever heard.
Oh my goodness! I'm sure they take it all in.
The first speech this year involved a speech about how Nick Markakis loves the game so much he took less money to play for the Braves. That's the first speech. It only got different and better from there. So I just want to tell you, we started there.
Yeah.
Last night the kids got the inspirational "Be All You Can Be" speech, and it went on and on and on forever. And but it was that was funny. But we what I wanted to get to is, so last night going into the game, so it's his first year hitting coach pitching. And last year's T-ball, he's shortstop and pitcher and playing good and hitting the ball. And the 7-year-olds have a terrible time adjusting to the coach pitch. The distance-wise, I think, is a problem. Maybe they can scoot in a little bit. Just from practicing in the backyard, you know, I can get in different angles, and he just smokes the ball. You know, get shorter or even throw sidearm or underhanded. But for most time, the coach pitchers are all throwing overhanded. They're all 6 foot tall. These the kids are what, 3 to 5 feet, to about 3 or 4 feet. So the pitch is a rainbow. And if you have so lefties have a what? They got this natural low looping swing. So he's swinging this, the ball's coming this, so it's like an X. So they have to meet at a certain point. So he's had trouble getting the ball in play. He fouled off a bunch and getting it in play. So he's had a rough time this year. So yesterday was working in the backyard before the game and hitting some balls. And I noticed that, you know, he's been behind all year. And what we had done, we had adjusted earlier because of the pitch being like, you know, coming at that the soft, but kind of like a softball, really, at that angle that we had.
And actually, for kids, it's harder than just a straight pitch because, like you say, it's got to get the angle just right.
So when you have that, and this is area, I know Cherryville does a lot of machine pitch.
Yeah,
and that ball's the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you having coaches, you got coaches who throw hard, you got coaches who throw soft. I mean, you know, all different. Some of them loop it in there so the kids hit it. And I have noticed that even when you go to All-Stars, for some kids to adjust to a new pitcher that's out there on the mound, it's a big difference.
Oh, yeah, because, but I like the pitchers better than I do the machines because of that. But my biggest thing, like, if they would allow them to get closer, I think that would make a difference big time, because I think everyone's trying to be on a regulation. Let's all be exactly the same, but that's not the same for the 8-year-old kid. Don't need, like, they've got this circle in front of the mound. It goes like 2 feet in front of the mound, and it goes way behind the mound. Like, if they would switch the sides of the circle to the big part in the front, no, I've never seen one pitcher go to the back of that mound or anybody go to the back of that circle. There's nobody ever just stood there. But so last night we made an adjustment. We had lowered his bat and get it on and put it on his shoulder to try to hit that higher pitch. So because his swing was down, so we're trying to get him to go up at it. So I noticed, but what he was having trouble with, because the bat's a little bit heavier and bigger than him. The first thing he did, Terry, was he was dropping the barrel of the bat. So that's why he was late on everything. I didn't notice it until last night when we were working at a shorter angle where we were throwing some soft tosses, and his bat kept just barely dropping. And so last night I had him hold it up and get it off his shoulder. Just all he did was move it at 2 inches off his shoulder. He got 2 hits on opposite way over, right at shortstop and third base. Hadn't really hit the ball all year, and made one slight adjustment in the back.
And you're talking about the kids. Same thing with the major leagues. You got to make adjustments. Pitchers figure you out. They figure out your weaknesses, and if you don't make adjustment, guess what? You don't do well.
The worst part about it, it's his last game.
Yeah.
Can you remember this to next year?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You had to remind him. You had to remind
what
him.
you did. But he come in, Terry. What's also funny, so they get 5 pitches or whatever. So there's 7. You're talking about how they don't listen or pay attention. Every time he's went up to bat the last probably 3 to 4 games, don't swing at the first pitch, son. Okay. He swings at the first pitch. Last night, he stood there like a dang statue on the first 2 pitches on the first pitch of both the bats last night. And he came in the second time and said, I listened exactly what he was so proud that he listened.
And it worked. And it worked for him. And it worked for him.
So now I can tell him do whatever, hopefully, and he listens.
We got a young girl, and I'm not going to mention names or nothing like that. It plays over at West Lincoln, but she plays Sweeties, which is T-ball for girls. Mm-hmm. And then she plays Coach Pitch girls. She plays in both of them, but she is in the Sweeties age bracket.
Yeah.
But she gets in Sweeties, and bam, she hits it to the outfield. I'm talking constantly. Mm-hmm. Because she's learned how to adjust from a pitch being thrown. So she's learned how to adjust her bat, and she just rocks it in Sweeties. But when she's playing coach pitch, and I'm amazed at her because she can play either one, and she's going to be an all-star. I don't know which one they're going to put her in, whether they'll go with coach pitch girls for her to play, because she's a great fielder. She can play the game. Man, I'm like, my God, she's going to be a star if she plays down, but I don't know which one they put her in for her to play, but I'm proud of her because she plays both of them, and she can play both of them consistently and be like a young kid playing coach pitch girls and plays it like she's been playing it forever.
Well, it's good seeing that. Like, there's a lot of kids that do that, and I'm glad you kind of got to that point about, and then talk about skill wise and players. A lot of players will. Well, they play the fall ball and this and 19 different balls. And they only play baseball. We talk about changing sports and doing different things throughout the year all the time. And it don't matter. I want to make the point of this. As far as Cherryville, let's say post 100 goes, the 2 best players, let's say, in my opinion, you maybe agree, Roberts and Mason, on both with national player of the years. So they both. I drive either way I come to work. I have to drive by one of them's house. Neither one of them played any fall ball. Both of them played different sports. And neither one of them grew up in a big, wealthy home. I drive by both of the houses. I drove by Mason's house this morning thinking about Major League Baseball pitcher came out of that little house right there.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ralph. And so, and kind of like what the coach was saying last night, he was telling the kids you can be what you want to be if you put your mind to it and go. I think they talk about the Kings Mountain kid that's doing well.
Wilson.
Yeah.
State. Yeah.
State,
That's who he was talking. That's who he was
talking.
talking about, Terry, kind of with the kids a little bit last night, and so just kind of a reminder that you can do other things, play other sports, and be other things, and it doesn't matter where you come from, and like I got upset about that coach earlier this year, telling my nephew his bat costs less than this other bat, and that was the most craziest thing I've ever heard. Like, in actuality, coach, if you all had wood bats out here, you'd probably be doing better for all of them because they'd be hitting on a smaller sweet spot. But let's not go there. I mean, those bats are cheaper and whatever. But we can do a lot of things with that.
And I'm with you because I don't care what type of basketball player you are. Hey, does everybody want Jordans? Everybody does. But if you do not, whether it's Cougar, British Knights, or whatever kind of tennis shoe you got. I'm just telling you, if you can play the game, you can play the game in no matter what shoe you're in.
You remember the Akeem Olajuwon, the Spaldings? That's
what I'm saying.
He had the Spaldings back then.
And one shoe.
Dr. J didn't need Air Maxes, and Dr. J didn't have Jordans, did he?
I'm old enough to remember back when they only had a couple of companies that made tennis shoes. There wasn't that many.
I like the canvas Converse. I mean, that was me.
Converse has been there forever. Yeah.
That's funny. Well, Terry, that coach that got fiery with me over the bats thing with my nephew. Believe it or not, he was thrown out of 2 or 3 games this year.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, well, I have to change you something
And
there.
suspended for
You
a
might not have
game.
been with me,
I wasn't.
neither then.
I wasn't the first one or the last one that had a problem with him. Apparently. Oh, what a mess on that was.
But another thing too, as you mentioned, is don't forget coming up. We got districts all around.
Yep.
That's coming up for all your Optimus programs. I mean, these are future stars. You might see them now and say, you know what, I watched that kid when they were in T-ball. But don't forget those things are coming up around our area. A lot of different things. I know Boger City has the girls district this year out there. It's every age group out there at one location. Now, baseball, they scatter it at different places. So, if you ever get a chance on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just check your papers, figure out where your tournaments are at, and go watch them.
Another thing about you talk about watching the future stars. You don't know which one it'll be. Like talking about Ralph in Little League, I played on his team, so I remember vividly. He only hit 2 home runs when he was 12. 2, the whole year. He hit 30 something his senior year in Legion ball, and so it worked.
You
on
can't
your game.
tell. And Terry, I know you've seen it a lot. With you may have one part kid that's pretty big for his age, and he may dominate at the lower ages, but once you get up to high school and it sort of evens out, maybe he's not as dominant as he was.
Well, we had with one guy in Little League. The other guy on another team, a Little League team, he hit I think 15 in 1 year, and then he did hit 10 in Legion. We didn't hit 30.
Yeah.
Well, I go back to when I had these 2 girls and we were playing basketball, and these 2 girls was as equal.
1 on 2. We were playing 2 girls.
They beat me too. I cannot believe I lost, but anyway. But they were equal, and one was on my team and one was on another. And sometimes I sit back and maybe get on myself a little bit because the one that I had, she was as good as the other one, and I'm talking about it lasted through about the 6th grade of Eagle. I mean, if you had those 2 going against it, people packed the place just to watch these 2 play against each other. But then the one on the other team got a little bit better. They started playing AAU. They started doing everything going around, and she got tremendously better than the other one.
Yeah.
And when it come to high school, this one kid lit it up, and I was able to coach her at that level. And I will never ever take anything with it. But you talking about being equal at one area, and one excels.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for the trivia question of the day before our first break. It's not a baseball related question. It's basketball, NBA Finals related question. When we come back, we're going to talk high school baseball, and we're going to cut the show short today, guys, at 9:30. I've got to get on the road and get up to Greensboro, and we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. What, JP? You got a movie to get to?
JP saying, you know what, it's Star Wars.
No, actually, there's a Comic Con going on in Gastonia. Little Library Comic Con I'll be going to.
What?
Comic Con. You know what that means, Terry?
Comic Con. Well,
you know what con means?
If I would ever,
we'll start from there, then we'll back up. You know what Comic Con means?
Number one, I would
Convention.
never have to be able to walk in JP's shoes, 'cause I'd be scared where them shoes take me.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah. If you're watching online today, folks, if you listen, you can always watch online on YouTube. You can see me, Ken, and Terry in here. I forgot to put Mr. Banana Man in Cinefani's seat for the day, but we'll get to him in a minute. Maybe Muggsy Bogues will want to join the show, like he does sometimes. So the trivia question is basketball related, Terry. Since Michael Jordan retired, following,
I'm with you.
in every single NBA Finals, there's been 4 players have been in every single NBA Finals since Jordan retired. If you can name 3 of the 4, I'll give you 4 Crawdads tickets. 704-435-2844. 4 players have been in every Finals since Jordan retired. You hadn't had a Finals without one of these 4 players. I need 3 of the 4, and then I'll give you 4 Hickory Crawdads tickets. 704-435-2844. Do you got a question, Terry?
Does this mean like coaching or playing?
Players. 4 players that have been in every final since Jordan retired. So if you went in every finals since the year after Jordan retired until this year, they've been in every finals. All right, got it, Terry? You got your guesses. All right, 704-435-2844. We'll be taking calls on that. I'm going to write that down so JP can have the answers because he has no idea probably what any of these mean. So I'm going to get that in. JP, bring me a notepad in here. And we'll get that right after the break on ktcbroadcasting.com.
The Belt Car Show is back at Classic Ford Lincoln in Shelby. The Belt Car Show returns this Saturday, June 1st, and you're invited. Come see the classics at Classic Ford Lincoln. Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to come and join the boss as we broadcast live from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. We'll have free Dairy Queen hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks. Plus, register to win some great prizes. And just listen to this. Classic Ford Lincoln will be giving away Mark and Forzy's limited edition laminated Afterglow Mustang hood. Custom wrapped laminated with Afterglow artwork. That at $3,600. That's right, $3,600. And someone will go home with it on Saturday. So make plans now to be there. Come join us with fun excitement. The Belt Car Show returns, and someone's going home a big winner. This Saturday, June 1st, 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. at Classic Ford Lincoln, 1775 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right on the Classic Corner.
Country Gold with Terry Clark. I'm Terry Clark, inviting you to join me for Country Gold, where we play all your favorites from the 80s and 90s. This week, my guests will be Big and Rich from backstage at the Grand Ole Opry. The guys are celebrating their 15th anniversary as a duo, and they're on the Peace, Love, and Happy Hour tour. That's Big and Rich with me on Country Gold with Terry Clark.
Country Gold with Terry Clark, Thursday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Dwight Fowler at Renato Automall in Shelby says no bull. That's right, you get no bull at Renato Automall. Just good old down-home pricing, and that's no bull. Whether you're shopping for a new Kia, Honda, Buick, or GMC, you get great deals, great financing, and great service. So hurry on in now during the No Bull Sale event at Renato Kia, Renato Honda, Renato Buick GMC, all at Renato Automall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall. Make your business or office a Boss or Carolina Country listener post. All you have to do is tune your radio in your business or office to 107.5 FM or 92.3 FM. Let us know and we'll put your name on the radio. And each month we'll have a drawing from area listener posts for a dozen breakfast biscuits from the Creekside Clock Restaurant in Shelby, along with coffee or tea. Area listener posts include Promotion Motors in Lincolnton, Cherryville Signs and Graphics, Lowe's of Lincolnton, Watson Carpet and Tile, R&D Mattress Center of Cherryville, Carolina Furniture Mart, Memory Lane in Krause, Watson Carpet and Tile, Davis Brothers Automotive, and Carolina Furniture Mart. So make your business or office a Boss or Carolina Country listening post today. Now's the time to buy your new Kubota from Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Right now, pay zero money down. Get 0% APR financing for 60 months. Come on in now for all the details. All for good on the Kubota BX Series, the Kubota B Series, the Kubota L Series, and the Kubota MX Series tractors. Again, zero money down and 0% APR financing for 60 months. Get your new Kubota today at Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive in Kings Mountain.
Summertime fun starts in your own backyard with a call to Gage Pool and Spa in Gastonia. And right now, you can get low financing with approved credit on your new pool. Offer good on both above ground and in-ground pools. Low financing with approved credit. See Gage Pool and Spa for all the details. That's Gage Pool and Spa, 3025 Union Road, Gastonia, in the Food Line Plaza at Robinwood Crossing. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 till 2.
And good morning. Welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. I'll send it to you guys in the studio.
Terry, you got your guesses in yet? You
I
didn't
didn't
write
put
them.
my
You
first
didn't
one
wrote them
down.
down yet. Terry's still.
It's kind of hard for me to write the first one down when I only have a pen.
Here, I'll give you. How about a pencil?
Now you don't have an excuse.
Now we don't have an excuse, right? All right, reminder you, the trivia question, 704-435-2844.
It's tough. It's not easy.
Since Michael Jordan retired, every finals has featured one of these four players.
Oh,
If you could,
one
yeah,
of
not
those
all
four.
four of them, Terry.
Oh, okay.
That's impossible. One of these four players. Since Jordan retired, so that's 2001, every finalist has featured one of these four players, and I need three of them for you to win tickets to a Hickory Crawdads game. I got 4 tickets to give away to the Crawdads. So if you could name three of the four players, I don't even need you to do all four, just 3 of the 4. And speaking of which, we had another fun a nugget of information for Terry, since he's a fan of 80s basketball. Only 5 teams, Terry, made the NBA Finals in the 80s. People talk about parity all the time of the 70 championships. Lakers and Celtics got, I think, 33 of them, something like that.
Yeah, 17, 16.
So, there hasn't been much parity, and there's been more parity the more we actually go. Think about the Final Four this year. If it used to be the NBA, they would say, they want the big cities. They want Zion in New York. He ends up in New Orleans. Well, the Final Four this year was Milwaukee, Portland, Toronto, and Golden State. Someone asked me, was Game 1 fixed, Terry? Because Golden State, because Toronto was the Canadian team, the out-of-country team. They wanted it. I'm like, well, they're all fixed, but I'm not sure about that. I said before the season
it was fixed.
I had this before the season, so I wanted to pat myself on the back on this one that about the Raptors. Now, before the season, I would say it would have been 4-1 Golden State because Kevin Durant's healthy, DeMarcus Cousins healthy, and none of those are. Being up 1-0, Ken, do they have a shot now without Durant? And Boogie's just really not Boogie. He's just a big body out there right now. Do they got a shot now, being up 1-0?
Well, I think they got a shot, but if I'm picking, I'm still think the Warriors end up winning it.
Terry?
Oh, yeah. I mean, in Game 1, you got to understand, Golden State, after, 9 days off, comes up and scores 21 points. Anytime you go back into game action, it's a whole different from having a practice.
Mm-hmm. And Cousins hadn't played. He was trying to get incorporated in with the mix and stuff. And it was in Toronto. Everybody
this is
was
their
going
first
nuts.
road game in the finals that they've ever played in Game 1. So, you think that had something to do? All that had something to do with it?
Well, I think it did, and Toronto did beat Milwaukee 4 straight games after going down 2. So and they played good defense, but the adjustments will be made, and whether Kevin Durant plays or not, I think Warriors still pull this thing out.
Iguodala is going to. I just read that. Where to say? Iguodala will likely play after his MRI. It doesn't say if they found anything. So I guess okay. Durant will not play in Game 2. So the first 2 games in Toronto, and I'm not saying they need his 30 points or whatever, because they can obviously outscore anybody with the just raining threes. But they have to rain threes without Durant out there because what he also doesn't give you, and people lost in this equation, is when the spot Durant took was Harrison Barnes. He was still 15 to 20 points a game right there, and still a good athlete, and still a good defender. You're not only losing Durant on the offensive end, you're losing a 7-footer that can guard Kawhi Leonard.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's such a matchup problem against Durant. I mean, that makes problems for the other team, offensively and defensively.
Well, if Durant's out there, you got to put Kawhi on him instead of chasing the Steph or Clay.
It's the matchup.
Well,
it's Clay room.
You also won by 9, and who's the guy who scored the 32? What's his name?
Well, I wanted to get to that, Terry. I didn't think he was going to break him up.
That's not going to happen.
And he hit, 12 out of 15?
It's 14 out of 17.
14 out of 17.
Terry, who was guarding him? Who was guarding him?
Durant was most of it. Green even come up and said, I have to stop him.
Yeah.
That's the first thing he said.
Hey, that's what I said. When you said you want to talk about Green, when I said he didn't want to, I didn't want to bring it up.
But now that guy didn't do nothing against Green. Green had 10, 10, 10.
Terry, he had 32 points on Draymond Green. They're both power forwards.
Okay, he didn't do nothing else. If you had 10 points and I've got 10 assists.
He had 8 rebounds.
Okay, I got 30.
And he had 8 rebounds and 5 assists.
So
he's got 42.
They'll make adjustments.
How many rebounds did he have?
8 rebounds.
Okay,
Draymond got smoked. He
still had a triple-double, didn't he?
He was 2 of 9.
They equaled each other out almost.
He lost by 9 and gave up 32 to the guy he's guarding. I don't care about his 10, 10, and 10.
Well, if
Russell Westbrook
guys would hit their shots like Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry.
Draymond was 2 of 9, Terry. Draymond was 2 of 9.
Well, I mean, he can't take every shot. These other guys he dissed, you got to hit
want him
something.
to take a shot. He did hit his free throws. I'll give Draymond credit.
He hit every one of his free throws.
So did Steph Curry at 14 of 14. Clay was...
What was Clay from the field?
From the field, 8 of 17.
Okay, 8 out of 17, 8 out of 18. So that's 16 out of 35. You're shooting less than 50%.
They had 55 points between them.
Quit shooting. Give the ball back to Green.
Oh, God.
Wow. You got to let Green
I
shoot
think
three.
Terry's got money on Toronto with that kind of advice. He loves him some Draymond Green so much. It's silly. He had a quadruple jump. He had
wait a
6
minute.
turnovers.
This is how I will say. When one man walks in a room and he sits down doing a pregame thing on this series, and he calls Draymond Green, the quarterback of this team,
He's
a All-Star, a NBA Final winner, a NBA All-Star
Who's this?
ever,
Who's this?
Magic Johnson.
Okay, he's done a real good job of evaluating talent lately.
There you go.
let's go to
That's
his,
all I gotta say.
Let's go to his opinion on that.
He says he's the
drafted
quarterback
Lonzo Ball.
of that team.
He drafted Lonzo Ball with the second pick in the NBA draft. Him and Michael have got some bad drafting histories, I would say. Without Durant there, it's a. I think I had Toronto from the beginning of the season, and then when they traded for Gasol, I'm like, book it, boys. They're going to the finals.
Yeah.
And so
they are leaving him open, though, and I don't like that. I mean, a lot of times they just leave him open from three-point.
Yeah, you can't continue to do that.
he was 2 of 4
I mean,
from 3, knocked him down.
Yeah, I mean, he gets in a rhythm, and basketball, it's a game of rhythm. You get going, guy, it's pretty hard to
don't
shut
take
you
me
down.
out, leave me in.
Yeah.
Well, think about it from the Raptors' perspective. Without Durant out there, Clay and Steph want to get as many threes up as possible, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're sitting there thinking on the Raptors, before the game, I say, guys, this is what we need to do. We need to put our hands up, play hard on 3 possessions. Now, look at the score. The Raptors scored 118. That's what the Warriors averaged this year. They stopped 3 3-pointers.
Yeah,
one by
the
9.
defense was the difference. I agree.
So I'm not, if Durant's there, they might get to close to 118. But if you just stop, you go into that game against what they have now on the court without Durant out there. You say, guys, we make 2-3 defensive stops, we can beat this team because like the James Harden effect, the D'Antoni. You shoot so many threes, they're going to live and die by a 3 in this series without Durant out there. And it's not just Durant, like I said, it's the small forwards not out there. You don't have your wingman out there to play defense and do everything. And now you're asking an old Iguodala to take up all them minutes. And I think they got a shot now, Terry.
Toronto's good. And when they made a bunch of trades and got the people they got, I never took nothing away from their starting lineup and some of their bench that they can put in. I still think that Golden State, I mean, like I said, it's 9 days. You play your first game, you get beat. I've even heard one guy come out and said, it'll be 3-0 before Golden State wins their first one next Friday. Is the way he's put it.
So.
I'm having a hard time. But I got a feeling Golden State wins tomorrow. And we're going back to Golden State 1-1.
I think we're going
that's
6
just
games now at least.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be. I don't see the Warriors winning 4 straight right now without, like I said, just without Durant out there. They can win 3. They can win 4 straight. I'm not saying they can't. They swept the dang Blazers.
If you're really thinking about it, Toronto's 3-0 against them this year.
Yeah, they haven't been beat by them.
Yeah, they've beat them every time.
Fellow on the radio the other day was making the point that the Mavericks, when they quote unquote upset the Heat, but that was before the Heat had even won a title. They had beat the Heat twice in the season too, coming into the season, and people didn't see it coming. And now the Raptors was 2-0 against the Warriors. It's a different country. You got all that other stuff to worry about. They only go to Toronto once a year, play 1 game a year there, so they haven't in the past 3 years they're playing just as many games that they're going to play maybe in this series. So
you go by percentages?
What you mean?
Well, they say 72% of the teams that win game 1 win it.
Well, that's why I said they got a chance because they're at home. I mean, they're at home for game 2. If this was switched, if it was in Golden State, wouldn't we say and the Raptors won 1 of the first 2 games would be like, well, we got a series now, or that's what they wanted.
Everybody would say, yeah.
So. I didn't know they'd have home court. They're both the 2. They got a better one. They won one more game than the Warriors.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either till they sort of announced it. And I go, wow, I didn't realize it was better than the record was better than the Warriors.
That's wild. Think about all the times you set people here, set people there, and then you don't have home court in the finals now because you set people. Now they had injuries during the season as well, no Boogie or whatever, but you can't tell me they lost 25 games because it wasn't good enough. Or maybe they are. Maybe that's what we're seeing. This is a even matched up team.
But you are seeing records being set. So we're speaking of Draymond Green again.
Oh my goodness.
He is one of only 4 guys who's had 3 straight triple doubles in a row.
Which is more important, winning the game or giving a triple double?
He's doing his job. There's no more. You got to shoot better than 2 for 9, though. I will tell you that. You got to knock a shot down every now and then.
At least one.
But without KD in there, you do.
He has to.
He has to. Somebody has to pick up some scoring there.
Right. So you think Jordan Pippen when you think 2 people. Well, Kobe and Shaq. Well, if you go and add them up, they both scored close to in the regular season 50 to 55 a game. Then you got to get up to 60 in the playoffs for those 2. So if you're not getting 60. Curry and Thompson got 55. 5 more, they're at 114. Draymond hits 1 more shot. Now you're at 116. One shot away from tying to winning the game. How many free throws did you miss? Now go to that. They only missed 2 free throws. God dang, they shot good from the free throw line. Well, they hit those 2 free throws, tie game. So it's so easy to get from those numbers, especially the playoffs. I'm just glad or hope, in the past finals and what we've seen, in some of these games and series, we'll change court and one team win by 20, but 9 points is in today's 3-point NBA. That's almost a close game, really.
Yeah. And I'm gonna mention one more thing when we're speaking this. People don't get me wrong. He's a great player. I'll not take anything away from Kawhi Leonard. Don't put him in the same breath as you put Michael Jordan.
No, Lord, no.
Come on.
Oh my God.
I've heard that, and I'm like, get real. Go back. Now, if he succeeds and he wins this title and then he goes back and does it next year and the next or whatever, the worst thing about Toronto is he going to stay? That's what they're worrying about. But, don't put him in the same breath.
So basically we've gotten to the point now where accomplishments don't matter and whatever the newest, hottest thing is on the block do, and that's what we've seen. This because think about – Ken, if you close your eyes and talk about sports, this is the greatest time ever in sports. You got the greatest football player in Tom Brady. You got the greatest basketball player in LeBron. You got the greatest baseball player in Trout. Terry says Kyle Busch out here being silly.
He is the best.
So, it's the greatest time ever. And the next one's going to be the same thing. Zion's going to be the next greatest. And that's why I keep telling the LeBron fans, guys, as soon as he retires, you guys are going to start getting mad at the Zion Williamson fans. Because they're going to be saying, and Kawhi's got one championship. He did win the MVP of that series. That was one of those. Him and Iguodala got MVPs playing defense on LeBron. Think about the media, how ridiculous they are. LeBron lost. Let's give it to the guy who played instead of Steph Curry.
But he did not have a bad shooting game.
He averaged 14 in that
series.
And he got the MVP.
I'm saying.
I'm sure Tony Parker had more. The Curry series, well, he didn't get MVP. Everybody said he played bad. He averaged more in the finals than he did in the regular season.
Yeah.
2 points more. How did he play worse and he won? And they gave it to Iguodala playing defense. So these media and these funny awards, they just and then Klay Thompson, of course, we talked about that last week. As far as the media and their awards, they vote on this All NBA team, and the dumb players. It's your fault. It's your association for signing the contracts. That's what sets up how much money you make based on a media vote. Us three votes on making $30 million.
That's wrong. That's wrong there. You gotta go on what media thinks as far as who's the best and therefore who gets the money.
Right. It's not even a negotiation.
No, it's not. It's crazy.
It's what they voted on.
I mean, you could say if you do that, then your agent can use that as leverage, but when it's a hard and fast rule.
Right, that's how it's supposed to be. What if the Panthers were slotted into always having Cam as a top 4-page player in the league because of that? What if he was having to get paid $35 million right now instead of what it is? And they drafted a guy because they might have a contract situation next year or quarterback just to see. So and these contracts, going into that, they're getting up there so much. You're going to be paying Kemba Walker if you pay him what he can get, $40 million a year. Jordan never made that. I know the money's different now, but when you look at their money back then, he still made 30, The next guys weren't making 25 also.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
He was he was
fifth,
above.
Horace Grant and John Paxson were
was
making
a
$10 million.
big difference
There's a gap.
from top to the next guy.
Pippen on the 90, I think the 72,
Was it
the 72 win was
sixth?
sixth highest
That's what
player
I
on the
thought.
team.
Sixth player on.
He was making like $3 million a year after he'd already won three championships
Yeah.
and stuff. So the money and that's in one thing that I've always worried about with the money. You know, you always see the best players sitting out games, and you know, you only come to Toronto once. Like the Spurs, they only came to Charlotte once back then. I only saw David Robinson get to play once. I went to 5 games, I think, to see him play, and he was hurt all those times. I never got to see him play but one time. And so you never know when they come to one city. And Jordan played 82 games a year. Terry, his last year in the league, y'all, he played 82 games. Averaged 20 points.
That's amazing.
He played 82 games his last year in the league. LeBron last year was the first time in his career he played 82, just to prove that he could do it. And he didn't do it this year, of course, either.
Well, I'm gonna mention something.
Last season.
When you think about and you think about Pippen come up at the wrong time, he did. Because think of the money Pippen would be making now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, you know, you got guys that average 4 or 6 points a game making $10 million a year.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Right, and yeah, it's like Draymond Green. He's averaging 7 points a game, Terry.
He makes more than Pippen does.
And he's wanting
right.
max money. but you're right. You look down at the Hornets roster and you see MKG making the same as Kemba.
Yeah.
And he can,
Yeah, and it just it's just out of whack.
It is.
Batum making twice as much as Kemba. So they're talking about if Kemba leaves, there's a possibility of they're going to fill that cap space somehow. Terry, see what you think about this. I want to repeat the trivia question real quick, folks, for you folks listening. 704-435-2844. All right, Terry's guess is he would win the tickets, but he didn't get all 4.
That's all that matters. Will you win the tickets?
Terry
That's what
would
it's
win
about.
the tickets, but he wouldn't get all 4. And we'll see what he's going to give him the
Do enough to be the winner. That's what you did.
That's all
He
you
just
gotta
won.
do.
So the question is,
Do what it takes to win.
there's 4 NBA players. If these 4 players, one of every 4 of them has been in every final since Michael Jordan retired in 2001. Every finals. One of these 4 players has been in every finals since Michael Jordan retired. I only need 3 for the winner. 3 and you go ahead and Hickory Crawdad's tickets. Terry, that's wrong. You're getting worse. So I only need 3 of the 4. 4 guys have been in every finals since Jordan retired. Call JP at 704-435-2844. He's got the list in there if he can read them right and remember them like I told him. I think he's got it. He said he can read and write, Terry, so we're going to go with that. He's supposed to be some type of college educated person, right, JP? Yeah?
He's lost it.
He might be in Never Neverland in there. Where you at, JP? What's up? Morning. Nothing.
You want from me?
Huh?
Yeah.
What do you all want from me?
There we go.
I just work here, okay?
There we go.
Says the audio engineer. I was just messing with you and just shooting some stuff at you. So Terry's over here marking other stuff off. The question is, 4 players have been in every finals since Jordan retired.
Then I had to take this one off, and I know the other 3 have.
Name 3 of the 4 players who've been in every finals since Jordan retired. You will win Hickory Crawdad's tickets. All right, so back to where I don't even remember where I was on that. The Hornets' position if Kemba leaves and the money and what they could do. Maybe they might be involved in a 3-way or 4-way trade, and Chris Paul may be coming to the Charlotte Hornets.
Well, if they've decided they're not going to pay that max money for Kimball,
Right.
they need to work a trade to get something.
The best case scenario is Kemba decides he wants to go somewhere that can't really afford him, or basically where they could do a sign and trade where they get
Yeah.
something
Oh,
back.
yeah.
Because
But
if he goes to a team that's just got cap space, that they're screwed out of that.
Yeah.
But if he goes to if he says I want to go play with the Lakers, if they want to add another player with them, they would have to maybe do a sign and trade back with them.
yeah, a sign and trade will obviously be good for the Hornets if he. But I don't know that.
You
I don't know that's
know
going
who
to
I would
happen.
call if I was the Hornets? I would call, seriously, I'd call the Pelicans. Offer for Anthony Davis just for a year, see what happens. And you send him Kemba for Anthony Davis. Wouldn't they want Kemba to think about him dribbling around with Zion cutting to the basket. It'd be an alley-oop show.
Would you give up a star for a star, though?
Well, they're just who? Us or them?
Pelicans?
I
mean, would you think anything? I mean, don't some of these players have no-trade policies that they can decline?
No, don't. LeBron don't even have a no-trade clause. There's only 2 people, I think, now in the NBA with a no-trade clause.
So Chris Paul could come to Charlotte?
Right. No, well, he can't do nothing about it.
Well, see,
everybody, even LeBron don't have a no-trade.
Does Charlotte not get worse by Chris Paul coming?
Well, that's not the point. I didn't say
that. I know that. I'm just saying.
I didn't say that was the
point. I'm sorry, but that's just my thinking.
I agree, Terry. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it if I was Charlotte, but I'm not. I'm just saying that's probably a position they'll have. You know, the GMs, Terry, would rather go down in flames trying at that getting to that 8th seed than coming in and doing a Tankapalooza for a year or two. Which what Philadelphia did, and it kind of worked out for them. Just think if they actually hit on their number 1 picks with Fultz and the other kid was or the number 2 pick Okafor. What if Fultz and Okafor were really 1 and 2 picks right now? Would we be talking about the Raptors? I'm guessing the Sixers would.
Yeah, is it not a shame that we watch guys who are in college and top-notch players go to the NBA and become nothing? I mean, you talking about a difference from college to the NBA, it's a huge difference. That's just like me saying
Williamson from something to nothing instead of just something to like average. Like Kwame Brown played 17 years. Average. He wasn't nothing. He played 17.
But now how can this happen?
But he was the number 1 pick.
That you can have somebody, and I know it's height, Chuck Nevitt, go to the NBA and play over 10 years. How does that happen? I mean,
it's all about whose job's on the line. Who wants to pay Tyler Hansbrough to get the same PER numbers, Terry? I know you like these advanced numbers, but he gets the same numbers on average that Draymond gets. Tyler Hansbrough gets the same numbers that Draymond gets on average, and and they wouldn't put him on the floor. I guess he didn't kick enough people in the but
got to be the quarterback.
It's all about who's getting paid to make those decisions.
Magic says he's the quarterback.
Yeah. Terry, you're still wrong on that.
Still wrong.
He's gonna walk out the whole list.
No, I kept 3.
You should have quit when you're ahead.
You're still wrong.
My Lord, if I'm wrong on this, then we're gonna have to get rid of him.
Terry's wrong on the world. Terry.
I got 3.
Maybe you do have to get rid of him.
You told me I had 3.
I got to.
I won it.
We got to go to break.
Tickets.
We got to go to break. Terry did win the tickets if he wanted them, but all right, if you want to win Hickory Crawdads tickets, I need 3 of the 4 players who've been in every championship NBA Finals since Michael Jordan retired. I just need 3 of the 4, not all 4. Terry got 3 of the 4, and then he tried to get them all, and he just keeps getting worse and worse over here, Ken. But call 704-435-2844. Talk to JP. Maybe he'll hear you, maybe not. I don't know if he's got his earpiece in. We're ready for a commercial, but you never know.
Where's our gun?
He's in there looking at that Culture Club album there on the window. I don't know how that ended up there. JP, we're ready for a break. Haven't got any phone calls yet on that. But if you want 4 tickets to a Hickory Crawdads game,
we've actually had 1 phone caller, and he didn't get any of the names right.
Any of the names?
No, he's actually calling back to find out again. So.
He was 0 for 4.
You had to give me credit. I got 3 out of 4.
Well, Terry. Win Terry's tickets.
Every now and then I do pay
That's what
attention.
we'll call in the segment. Win Terry's tickets. Terry got 3 out of 4.
I'll throw in all 4.
I might throw in an extra 2 tickets if you get all 4. How about that?
Hey.
All right, guys. That's any Crawdads ticket you want. It's not like you got to go to a specific game. There are 2 or 3 dates that are blocked out. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty much the whole season. So you guys give us a call, 704-435-2844. And that's funny, Phil. I'd stop calling if I was you. We'll be back. JP, you ready for a break? You ready to mash the button? All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. KTCBroadcasting.com.
The Belt Car Show is back at Classic Ford Lincoln in Shelby. The Belt Car Show returns this Saturday, June 1st, and you're invited. Come see the classics at Classic Ford Lincoln. Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to come and join the boss as we broadcast live from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. We'll have free Dairy Queen hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks. Plus, register to win some great prizes. And just listen to this. Classic Ford Lincoln will be giving away Mark and Forzy's limited edition laminated Afterglow Mustang hood. Custom wrapped laminated with afterglow artwork. That at $3,600. That's right, $3,600. And someone will go home with it on Saturday. So make plans now to be there. Come join us for the fun excitement. The Belt Car Show returns, and someone's going home a big winner. This Saturday, June 1st, 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. at Classic Ford Lincoln, 1775 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right on the Classic Corner.
On November 25th, 2011, WCSL was granted a license by the Federal Communications Commission to serve the public interest as a public trustee until December 1st, 2019. Our license will expire on December 1st, 2019. We must file an application for renewal with the FCC by August 1st, 2019. When filed, a copy of this application will be available for public inspection at www.fcc.gov. Our application contains information concerning this station's performance during the last 8 years prior to December 1st, 2019. Individuals who wish to advise the FCC of facts relating to our renewal application and to whether this station is operated in the public interest should file comments and petitions with the FCC by November 1st, 2019. Further information concerning the FCC's broadcast license renewal process is available at 1416 Shelby Highway, Cherryville, North Carolina 28021, or may be obtained from the FCC, Washington, D.C. 20554.
Reasonably well behaved until almost turn one.
The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series.
And now it's 3 wide.
Pocono Raceway is NASCAR's tricky triangle.
Here's Kyle Busch. He dives down to the inside lane.
Where racing's best drivers
absolutely wheeling that Toyota.
Run the ragged edge between victory.
Kyle Busch scores the win.
And pain.
Pounding the wall is Bubba Wallace.
The Pocono 400. Sunday at 1 on the Motor Racing Network.
The Pocono 400, Sunday at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
This summer, stay twice at Red Roof Inn and earn a $25 gift card with Ready Rewards. Yes, you can become a Ready Rewards member. Just register to be enrolled in the promotion through your Ready Rewards account under the promotion tab. And once you register, a guest who stays at any Red Roof Inn, Red Roof Plus, Red Collection, or Hometown Studios by Red Roof 2 separate times from the beginning of June through the end of August will receive 6,500 points. That's enough for a $25 gift card. Offer valid June 1st through August 31st, 2019. Guests must be Ready Reward members and must be registered before checkout in order for the stay to count towards the promotion. Third-party bookings are not eligible. Must book at 1-800-RED-ROOF or www.redroof.com. Only stays occurring after the member's registration date in the Stay 2 promotion apply. So again, this summer stay twice at Red Roof Inn and earn a $25 gift card with Ready Rewards from Red Roof Inn.
Buy more, save more at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Come in now and save up to $1,200 on select GE Profile appliance packages, refrigerators, dishwashers, ranges, and microwave ovens. Let Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center put a package together for you. Again, save up to $1,200 on select GE Profile appliance packages. Buy more, save more at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday.
Drive happy. Drive to McKinney Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac in Gastonia. Ask for the McKinney True Price. See how easy it is to buy from McKinney Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac in Gastonia. Right now, save over $8,900 on the 2018 Chevy Silverado truck. Save over $8,400 on the 2018 Buick Regal and save over $10,000 on the GMC Sierra. Take a test drive today at McKinney Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac.
Buying a home is a big investment. Why not let our family help yours? Vicky Sperling Realty is family owned and operated. We have proudly served the Cherryville community and surrounding areas for over 20 years. Maintaining a small town atmosphere and ensuring customer satisfaction is at the heart of our business. We will work hard to help you and your family find the perfect place to call home. Come see us at 211 East Main Street in downtown Cherryville. Proud sponsor of American Legion Baseball.
Hi, welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk. Send it to Kevin and the gang in the studio. No, he only got one of the names right.
Hold on. There we go. Sorry.
Those three are right, and that's the one I had to take out.
Yeah.
Now I got to figure out that the middle section is the one I got to find somebody.
How much help did you need from Ken?
Not much. I mean, we just both sat in here
I just
gave me
I verified what Terry's already
So follow along, folks. 2002 through now, every finals. If you have, there's 4 players that have been in every single one of the. So one of these 4 players has been in every one of these finals at some point. So you got to go back to the 2002 finals and go all the way up through now. So it's a little bit tricky, a little bit. You got to think about it a little bit. If I need 3 of the 4, you win 4 Hickory Crawdad tickets. I just had a caller get 2 of the 4. I had one caller missed all 4, and I know him, and that's all I'm gonna make fun of him. But he guessed. I ain't gonna tell you who he guessed because that'd be a big hint on 2 of those probably. But he missed all 4. Philip, I'm very disappointed in you missing all 4. 0 for 4, Philip. Every one of them. So
overthink the question.
Terry got 3 of the 4. Terry's telling you to overthink it.
Yeah.
Terry got 3 of the 4, so he would have won the tickets if he wasn't sitting here. But it took him a while to narrow it down to figure out which one of his players on his sheet was the actual bum, and he scratched out everybody but.
It's tough.
But that one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're going to move on for just a few minutes. We've got a quick break, and then we're going to finish up with some high school baseball state championship action to get into and update everyone on the North Lincoln 2A championship series. I'll be heading out to that shortly. In football land, real quick, Gerald McCoy was released by the Bucks, defensive tackle this week. They replaced him with Ndamukong Suh, but the news that's relevant around here with that is that he has interviewed with the Ravens. They said their interview with him, McCoy's quote on the interview with them, it went A++++. But he's supposed to have an interview with the Panthers and the Browns as well.
Well, I think he's had one with the Browns.
Right.
He came away with the Browns and Ravens with no contract, and he was meeting with the Panthers yesterday. So, also the Panthers, in a move, Torrey Smith, who got a $5 million contract for this last year, he agreed to make it $3 million, freeing up a little bit of money. Now I don't know that
means $1 million.
Mean that $2 million is going to make a lot of difference as far as signing McCoy, but it makes you wonder. I mean, I thought they would end up cutting Torrey Smith, and they may still.
I thought he was getting cut.
But I mean, he's a good guy and everything, but on the field, his career's over. You know.
Well, speedsters get to a point where the young guys are just as. Once you lose that step in your 30s, you know, you can pay a young guy way cheaper to miss passes that hit your hands down.
But McCoy has said he wanted to play with somebody that could be a Super Bowl contender.
Right.
Of course, he wants money. He wants to get paid what he thinks he's worth. So they're going to have to pay him.
Why is he looking at those 3 teams then?
I mean, they cut him because he had $13 million left to pay this, and he also had 2 more years on the contract. So he's looking probably to get 12 or 13 million per year. I mean, that's what he's probably looking for.
You know, I can see the Rams. If he's going to win a Super Bowl, I don't know why he'd be looking at Baltimore, Cleveland, or Carolina right now at that situation. In any of those situations, you know, Cleveland's on the rise, and maybe Baltimore, and Carolina's all depending on, you know, Cam's health right now. And and it's always the defense, because when the defense is good, they have a good season. When they're not, they don't. So you also got to think, well, is Kuechly's health? That's one. If that goes down, your defense is going to change, and he's got your middle linebacker's got concussion problems, and that one's.
But if they can afford to bring him in, I'm all for it. I mean, he can still play.
Right. Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah, for a Panthers fan, you bring all the talent you can bring. You need all the defensive talent you can. You know, I think if McCoy is going to choose the Panthers, I think it's going to be about money. Maybe that's why because. You do have questions with Cam unless he's 100% sold, because he's played him twice a year. So McCoy's either I'm sold on Cam or I'm not sold on Cam. You don't.
But he say he likes Cam. Here's the other thing: any Rebeans in there that being the
right. That's another thing.
We'll play him twice a year. I don't know.
I'm sure his agent's like, we probably can't say that, and I'm sure all agents are like, you probably shouldn't take the revenge into the factor. But we'll see. It's interesting that they would come away saying we had an A++++ meeting
and not be able to sign him with the contract.
So then then it is the money thing maybe. So
that's what I'm thinking.
It has to be.
I'm thinking he
was cut because of
it's
money.
more the money than the Super Bowl. The way I'm looking at it.
So out of a weird situation with that, we'll see how that sets up this week. If it does. If let's say the Panthers do sign him, would that have changed their draft strategy in the first round? Was getting drafted on the defensive end, and you got McCoy. I know it's a different position, but D-line helps. D-line help. Would you maybe look at something else there in the first round instead? I don't know. It's kind of because free agency season always gets weird when they start cutting these stars after the draft.
Well, they needed help with the pass rush. So the more talent they can bring in on that defensive line, I'm for.
No, Terry, that's wrong too.
Well, I just tried to figure in your head.
It ain't my head.
That's what I figured.
It's just a fact.
Well, I figured if it took that one out, then it took that one.
Yeah, that's a good thought. It really is. If it took that one, Terry did some good.
Trying to overthink the question.
Well,
now.
actually, what you did there, whether you know it or not, was algebra. You took one out, replaced it with another, looked for the value in that one in the same spot. So kids every day. Ken, if anybody ever says I never needed algebra, and maybe you could make the argument on calculus, maybe, but if you say algebra or geometry, first of all, everything in this world is geometry. Second of all, every time you go to the value meal, you're doing what? Algebra. Yeah. I got a $10 bill. How many burgers and fries and drinks can I buy? That's algebra, kids. Terry, isn't it?
and as a math major, I can appreciate that.
You like that one?
I like that.
Kids, no matter what, you do algebra every time you go to the value menu or in the drive-thru. That's the best one to get them to pay attention. Speaking of which, a lot of kids ended up this week and next week here. We'll have graduation ceremonies coming up. We've got from every grade. My son and them had their little fun time there in first grade. He's moving to second. My wife teaches third, and so I got my son out. He got out a little bit earlier than they did on one of the days, and my wife was having a clean-up pizza party today, so that's the day we decided to show up to see the class, Terry. And well, it's funny, while my wife went out of the room to get ice and stuff, I like talking to the class and stuff. There's some fun kids. And so I got up on the board, and we did, what all did you learn this year? And we went through the class, and every kid named something that they learned. They did a great job. They were naming all the things that they did. I think I'm trying to remember the one thing she said she was disappointed in nobody said. One of them. So they got a joke with how teachers were like, well, I'm gonna show you some stuff you're gonna do in fourth grade. The grade ahead. So they call it secret fourth grade stuff. That was one of the kids. He goes, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but she teaches us secret fourth grade stuff sometimes.
That's all right.
That was a good one. And then one just said stuff. Stuff, Terry. So we wrote that up on the board.
Lots of stuff.
I meant to take a picture of the board. I think she did. I was going to read those off. It was funny, some of the ones that the kids went through, and they had a good time, though. And,
don't you love kids like that when you say, well, what'd you do today? Okay. What'd you learn today?
Mine don't say nothing.
Okay.
When I asked mine, Terry, his first question is, well, at lunch we had this. I'm like, I packed your lunch. I know what you did I know what you ate for lunch.
Yeah.
And then he tells me about whatever playtime or whatever exercise time is called in the schools now, and then he
the
tells
fun
me,
stuff.
Then he tells me about art, and then we finally get to everything.
When they start off in PE,
that's what he says. Yeah.
Fun stuff.
In PE we did this, and this kid did this, and he pushed me and called me this. And that's how it went from.
Well, it is. It's great when you come to the end of the year to ask kids, "What have you learned this year?"
I tell you, and we didn't think about this growing up, or I didn't, I don't know about y'all, but a lot of kids with allergies now. So I brought them a bunch of brownies one day earlier in the year, and it had peanuts in it. I didn't think about it at all, and some of the kids couldn't have them. So this time I brought them some. The three kids, I'd promised them all year, I'm going to bring you guys something extra and something fun. And I brought those kids cotton candy, bags of cotton candy on top of that. And And one kid didn't even want that. And he was just, I just don't want it. He said, I'll give it to another kid. So one kid switched his ice cream for the cotton candy. So he got 2 ice creams instead of the cotton. So whatever everybody had. But he was a really nice kid. Gave me a hug and thanked me. And they had picked on my son the whole year. He comes in there before he goes to his classes and everything. And he makes a mess with the Legos, and they got to clean them up when he comes in. So they know him well. All right. Trivia question. You got a winner in there, JP?
He got 2 out of 3.
2 out of 4.
So he's going to call back.
2 out of 4.
You got 2.
2 out of 4. We need 3 of the 4. Terry still hasn't nailed down all 4. He's still trying to figure it out. He's having a hard time. A real hard time. So the question is, since Michael Jordan retired, in every finals, one of 4 players, I'm not going to say the names yet, one of 4 players have made the NBA finals. We need one of these 4 players. So if you go back to 2002 through now, one of these 4 players will have played in the finals. I only need 3 of the 4 for you to win the tickets. I've had someone call and guess 2. I've had call and guess 0. Terry's writing down his NFM. No, that's not
I
right.
knew that. That's why I just why not take a guess?
And you misspelled his last name too, so there you go.
You know who I'm talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
You might have had a better chance of misspelling his first name or spelling his first name. You just could have put that. Did that, Terry?
This other one's a Hall of Famer, y'all.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, and you don't know. There's all 4 of them are Hall of Famers. Yeah. I'll say that. I'll give you a hint. All 4 of them will be Hall of Famers. But all right, JP, we got to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to finish up. Ken, we're going to stop the show day at 9:30, folks. We've got to finish up with a little baseball action and talk about some high school. What happened last night? Ken's magic trip across
baseball
through the state. You want to talk about the Royals?
No, we need to talk baseball. That your team now is heading to the bottom.
Yeah, well, when you can't beat the Braves or Royals, you're not a good baseball team. So we'll be back in a minute on KTCBroadcasting.com.
We are underway in the Pocono Green 250.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series.
That 3 wide. Bell just jams it into the inside of the century.
Racing's rising stars.
Cole Custer with Menard diving to the inside.
Take on a band of Cup Series moonlighters.
Chase Elliott having a great run this afternoon.
At NASCAR's Tricky Triangle.
He has overcome adversity here this afternoon.
The Pocono Green 250.
At the top of the leaderboard.
Saturday at 12:30 on the Motor Racing Network.
The Pocono Green 250, Saturday afternoon at 12:30 on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Is it time for a new roof for your home or business? If so, call Creason Roofing of Cherryville. Creason Roofing in Cherryville will meet or beat any competitor's pricing on a new roof. That's one of the reasons why they have been serving our area for over 40 years. Steve Creason, along with his wife, son, and daughter, all work together as a family and a team. They take pride in their work and reputation. Just call 704-435-1791 or visit the website at CreasonRoofingLLC.com. Like them on Facebook, too. That's Creason Roofing of Cherryville. Dwight Fowler at Renato Automall in Shelby says no bull. That's right. You get no bull at Renato Automall. Just good old down-home pricing, and that's no bull. Whether you're shopping for a new Kia, Honda, Buick, or GMC, you get great deals, great financing, and great service. So hurry on in now during the No Bull Sale event at Renato Kia, Renato Honda, Renato Buick GMC, all at Renato Automall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Wednesday morning from 11 to 12 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Golf Shop Radio, Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Brought to you by Fred Caldwell Chevrolet in Clover, South Carolina. At Carolina Federal Credit Union in Cherryville, they treat you like family because you are. Making the most of your money starts by managing and growing your money. Come by Carolina Federal Credit Union in Cherryville and learn how you can protect your money and actions you can take. Plus, they can provide you with hints and tips. Learn more by visiting their website at carolinafcu.org or drop by their office at 1200 East Church Street in Cherryville. Become part of their family today.
Carpenter Porter Funeral and Cremation Services in Cherryville is there for you in your time of need. They're a progressive and comprehensive funeral service provider, promoting the highest ethical and professional standards while maintaining cost-effective service. Funeral directors John Porter, Scott, and Hannah Garrett are there to help you and give you guidance during one of life's most difficult times. For more information, call 704-435-6711. Located at 1100 East Main Street in Cherryville and online at carpentersfuneralhome.net, a member of the National Funeral Directors Association.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk. Back to Kevin and I on the studio.
I guess.
That's Coach's fault, though, isn't it, Terry?
Well,
having a little whose fault is it over illegal bat discussion. At the end of the day, if every kid's using the same bat, the coach knows it.
There's a problem. That's just me. And
watching, looking at baseball, fun stats. We like to do this. Weird stats of the standings as we go through them. I'll tell you, always my funnest so far this year. The Cincinnati Reds have given up the least number of runs in the National League, and they're dead last in the NL Central. Dead last in the NL Central, and so they are plus 42. The Phillies are in first place, are at plus 30. They'd be first there in run differential.
They are a plus 42. What's the next team in front of them? They're a minus what?
64.
Think of that.
That's a 100-run difference.
Well, that just goes to show you there's something to be said about learning how to win. It's not just about the stats.
Yeah, that kind of shades into the baseball that we're going to get into in high school in just a second. But North Lincoln did lose a game 9-0 last week, and they're playing in the state championship. So and we talked, Terry. And Ken, I don't know if you were. I don't think you was in here when I did the fuzzy math on it. Well, I think Tom was in here, and I said, we talked about the pitching matchups, who should go what, and I said, well, if the West Lincoln pitcher switched, and the first guy gave up 3 in the second game, and the second guy gave up none in the first game, West Lincoln would have won 2 games to none.
Yeah.
And North Lincoln wouldn't even be here. But Terry said my algebra don't add up, and I was just asking the math major over here if that fuzzy math kind of adds up or not. There are a few qualifiers I got to put on that equation.
Fuzzy logic is what I'd say.
Oh no, not fuzzy logic. Well, that could be the case too. Cubs in first in the Central, half game over the Brewers. Talk about how bad the Cardinals is. Listen to this. They had the best record in baseball at 20-10. Since then, they've went 8-18. How about after going 8-18, Ken, they're still in a better position than the team that we just talked about at plus 42 and only 3.5 games out of first.
Yeah, the thing about them,
they're a weekend series in Chicago for being in first place.
Even though they had that bad period of time, somehow they always hang around.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are always hanging around.
Well, I think that's something is Yadier Molina and Terry mentioned in the break that he's out for a while because he just tore some ligaments in his thumb.
Just put him on the DL. Hurt his thumb.
Not good. I don't know if they get it. It looks like a wild shootout in the Central. First to last is only 5 games. For example, in the West, you got 16 games. East, 13. Over in the American League, you got 19.5, 19.5, and 14.
There you go. Look at that 19.5 back Kansas City Royals. But we got 38 losses. Baltimore got 39. They're on the verge of beating us to 50.
Terry, you're minus 46. And the NL Central minus 64 to get you 500 record in 28-28.
Well, and you talk about catchers. I mean, we haven't had Perez all year. And does he make a difference? He does.
Sure he does.
That is your quarterback, your leader on the field, and we do not have him, and we keep subbing. We got a different guy every night that's trying to catch. But, I mean, it's only amongst 2 guys, but it's not the same.
His catcher, he's kind of like umpiring. It's one of those things, if you hadn't never done it, I don't think you understand how much work and you actually are involved in the game. You're framing pitches, running the defense. Just there's so much stuff to do at catching. Every pitcher's different. Just one pitcher that makes it sink this way or that way might cause your glove at 100 miles per hour, Terry. You got to be able to. That one kid throws 105 for them. That's totally different than change-ups in the dirt or curveballs from Adam Wainwright.
And it's different when you think of a catcher. A catcher will be back here. He knows this guy who steps in there. He knows what he likes, what he does not like. And then you got a pitcher out there who comes out there once every 4 or 5 days rugging you off like, I'm not throwing that one. And then you're like, okay, I'll give you another sign. Then all of a sudden he tattoos that one.
That's a wonderful point about the catchers knowing the other team's batters.
Yes.
Like, do the outfielders know that like?
No, they're
like
looking
the
at
catchers
their shoulder pads. Like, what he wants me to
the
move?
The defensive coaches position them out there. I'm sure they talk about that before the game and everything like that. But the catchers knowing stuff like I'll tell you a funny little story about that. I was catching one time and I knew it was this All-Star tournament. And I knew the kid that we were playing against played against him so much. I'm like, I know you don't think this, but please listen to me. He can't hit the high pitch. Now everybody knows he can hit it 400 feet, but he can't hit the high pitch. He's got a hole. Don't throw it low. Well, the pitcher pitching didn't throw good fastballs. He threw junk, nothing but curveballs in the dirt. So he was like, I can't do that. I'm like, listen to me, Terry. He bounced the first curveball after he shook off 3 fastballs on the plate, and I kid you not, the kid golfed it out of the park off the one hot plate home run. Before that kid got around second, I was standing behind my pitcher. He turned around and he just said, F you. I said, I told you. I said, I didn't know he was going to golf it, but don't throw the curveball in the dirt. The kid, he just had a class. He just dropped his bat. If you threw it below his knees, he crushed it. And I never in my lifetime think he would do that, but he did. And but that was just, you go out there and listen to your catcher sometimes, you might know a little bit about that. And the pitcher, pitchers are stubborn and think, if you've ever seen Bull Durham, folks, watch that one. I'm going to throw the heat, right, Ken?
Yeah.
What is it? Announce my presence with authority. How does that?
Yeah. Well, and it is so important the catching position and calling it. But here's something I learned. We're talking about high school playoffs. North Lincoln was in the playoffs. Listen to this, Terry. North Lincoln lets their catcher call the pitches. They do not call the pitches from the bench.
That's cool.
But
that's a lot of credit that the coach has
in the catcher. But you better really have faith in your catcher and have him schooled on what you want to do with the pitchers. But I thought that was interesting. That's unusual. That's very unusual.
Yeah, very.
Some coaches let the pitchers actually call some of their own. Some coaches do call their. I guess every team and every pitcher is different. It is. Is it all the pitchers he gets to call them? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. The catcher calls.
And let them do one time of not throwing the pitch that you want, and all of a sudden the kid Tito's. I've heard tons of coaches. If you would throw what I told you to throw.
Yeah.
Well, Ken went down there and scouted out. He went and drove down to Greensboro last night, come back, so he could tell us this morning exactly how to get down there and back. Ken, you come back and give us the traffic update.
Well, I tell you what, you can get down there and back better than we did because we went through storms, and of course, because there was storms, there was wrecks, there were delays, all kinds of stuff. But we've made it down there, and hadn't rained that much in Greensboro until we got there, and then they had a hailstorm. And then they had a monsoon come through. Bottom line, both games got rained out. Didn't play any. We stayed around till 8:30 before they finally made an official announcement that the second game with North Lincoln will be playing in was canceled. And so we didn't have any ball there last night. And things have been rescheduled. They're going to play at 11, 2, 5, and 8. And North Lincoln plays the 2 o'clock game. Morrisville was playing in the 11 o'clock game.
So that's for KTC today. We'll have. It really didn't change our schedule at all because we had these times locked out anyway. So what we've got today is North Lincoln at 2 o'clock. We've got North Lincoln at 8 o'clock on WLON. Now Ken and Danny Aker will be up in Denver tonight for the Shelby Cleveland County Post 182 155. It's gonna be hard. That's a mouthful. We'll be up to play the Lincoln County Cardinals Post 455. These American Legion teams, they make sure you say 50 words to get out of a team name.
Yeah, it's almost like NASCAR. You have to announce everything.
Get a sponsor for them. But we'll have Cleveland County and Lincoln County on the Shelby station, WHS. For you Lincoln County fans that want to listen to that game, and we're going to have North Lincoln on no matter what tonight. So if you want to listen to the Cardinals, you can listen on WHS online at ktcbroadcast.com. Same with all our broadcast folks. Go to ktcbroadcast.com with your phones and tablets and everything. So if you're going out of town in your car, you're going down to Greensboro tonight, or out and about wanting to listen to one of these games, if you got Bluetooth on your phone, on your car, or on your phones, you can just run our app through it and on your phone and listen to the games out of the area if you are out of the area. So ktcbroadcast.com if you want to listen to that tonight on all of them. Myself and Hunter Yancey will have today's games in Greensboro. I guess we'll probably be outside more than anything is where we'll end up. That's okay. I know those guys will probably beat us too.
If it's not raining, outside's fine. It's got a good.
Just worried
setup
about the how hot is it supposed to be?
Well, they
What's the heat? Have you checked the heat?
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the, I think, mid-80s today, not in the 90s.
Well, that's way better than 90-something. So I'll be.
And they do have a tent over it, so the sun won't be beating right down on you.
Okie doke. Well, Ken, you've been talking to people down in getting ready for this series, getting ready for the game. How do you feel everyone is, or North Lincoln is ready, or what they got a match up here for? What have you heard about what's going to go on today in this series?
Well, I'm checking some statistics and information on Randleman, and they have hit as a team this year 31 home runs. Now, I don't know about the competition. Still, that's a lot. That's pretty impressive. They got one kid who's hit 10.
Definitely for high school, yeah.
I think his name is Neil. I looked at the roster. I call him a kid, 6'4", 270.
Yeah.
So if he gets a hold of it, I'm sure he can hit it out. So somebody was actually watching them take practice in the indoor facility and said they were impressed by how they were hitting the baseball. So here's the matchup. You got probably Joey Cobb, the left-hander for North Lincoln, going tonight, and I don't know whether it's going to be going against Randall's number 1 or the number 2 pitcher. In the last series against Washington, where they won 2 straight, they said their best pitcher pitched the second game.
But that one's at home. They were the road team in that.
Yeah, they were road games. So
that's
he
what I
pitched
was
at home.
About the West North thing, about the pitching, and there wasn't really much travel in that series, so that might have had something to do with it too. Driving 2 hours with your ace is different, and then is different than driving 2 hours with your 2 pitcher as well. How do you feel about going up against a good hitting team? The pitcher today in game 1, because we talk about hitting all he wants, and I've seen some good hitting teams make it this far. It always does come down to the pitching.
Comes down to pitching. And Cobb's a good pitcher. He throws mostly hard stuff. He's got a good cutter. He's got 4-seam. I mean, he throws mostly. Doesn't use a lot of off speed, and his cutter's got a good movement on it.
Okay.
But he doesn't vary the speeds that much.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether eventually they'll catch up with him after through the batting order one time or not.
It's Big Boy Park too.
Yeah, it is.
That favors the pitchers.
And I tell you, North Lincoln's got a good defense, and they got some outfielders that can go get the ball. So that could favor them there on that big park.
So you think this is, from what you've seen, a defensive offensive matchup? Randleman's lost 4 games this year, 2 to the first place team in their division, but that team only got a 5 seed. And Randleman got the 11. North ended up with a 2 seed but winning this division, so the Max Prex rankings got them way ahead really by the competition last year.
Terry, you had something to say, look like.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at it, and your top 4 pitchers for Randleman are all juniors.
Yeah, they're
and then when I'm looking at total runs, I mean, Randleman scored 318, but again, you have to think a competition where North Lincoln scored 196. So they can score. Mm-hmm. And then when we was talking about that Neal guy, if he hits it 33% of the time, he hits it out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things to look at. But North Lincoln, again, I think the biggest thing, I think Cobb will do well.
I think he will.
But Whitley,
he's experienced. He's been there.
He
pitched great last year in the Western regionals.
Yeah, and Whitley's young. He learned, I think West Lincoln.
I think he got intimidated by the West Lincoln crowds, what I heard. I think he really did. Somebody said he really looked good in the bullpen. He got out there, and it's almost like a deer in
y'all weren't out there shooting cannons at him, were you, during the baseball?
But a couple things go wrong. And pitch
on the road.
It looked like he lost it there a little bit.
But no, he's done great all year long.
He
I
has.
think he might have learned from that for his next appearance.
I think so.
So, if you get to game 3, then you question your pitching again.
Yeah.
Do you have enough? Do they have enough? Because
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to bring them guys back unless you limit what they pitch today. And, that's going to be way low.
Well, how do you feel about the North Lincoln hitting?
It's been inconsistent this year. They haven't really got great hitting, but they manufacture. They got good speed.
You gotta remember, they almost lost in the first round.
They should have lost
4-2, down 4-2.
And scored three in the last inning, and the other team gave them 2 with errors, hit batters. I mean, they were
2
fortunate.
hit batters.
Yeah.
And so they should have been out. West beat them 9-0. So they have seen the adversity.
They have.
And so they've in the playoffs. I don't know if Randleman's seen that type of adversity. I just wonder how Randleman will react if North Lincoln does come out today and beat them 2-1 or whatever, 3-0 or 3-1 like that. How will Randleman react to that?
Yeah, that's true. And I think Cobb, that's huge. Game 1, if that's who he decides to go with. If he could get down there today, he can change his mind what he's going to do. But I think Cobb will be.
I assume it'll be Cobb because he's gone with Cobb in the first game all through the playoffs, and so I don't think he'll change his rotation. I think he'll go with Cobb. Tomorrow be Whitley, and then they got Josh Allen, who's their third starter, and he doesn't have the stuff of the other 2, but he pitched pretty well that last game against West Lincoln, being he hadn't been on the mound in over a month except for 1 inning. So, and here's the thing. He usually throws strikes, and North Lincoln defense does a pretty good job behind him. So, on a big field like that, he could turn out okay as well.
And runs scored. North Lincoln's only give up 77. Randleman's give up 97.
Yeah. So
they've both been in the games, every one they've played. My question for you, does being there before make a difference?
You said 77 and 97.
Mm-hmm.
I do that. That's good news for me because if you pitch good, you're going to be in the close.
Mm-hmm.
You should be in.
Randleman's got a great program. Their coach has been there a while. They're used to being there. Let's put it there. This is North Lincoln's first time. That could be a difference. We'll see. Well,
and they're very young too.
Yeah, they are very young.
This could be a matchup next 2 years.
I mean, could be. Yeah, because they got a lot of, like you say, their key players, pitchers, are juniors, and North Lincoln only had 4 seniors on the whole team.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so we could be talking about this next year at the exact same time. All right, Terry. So today, JP, you got the schedule in there. You go through the schedule, and I'm going to kind of make a comment or two on exactly. June 1st.
We have the Detroit Tigers at Atlanta Braves at 3:55. We got North Lincoln at Randleman at 1:45. We got Game 3 of North Lincoln versus Randleman at 7:45. Of course, that says to be announced. So.
Well, it's been changed. It is definitely today.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Yep. Well, Shelby Post 82 at Lincoln County. The Pocono Green 250 at 8.
Pocono.
Okay, gotcha. Do you want me to read tomorrow?
No, that's go ahead and do tomorrow.
All right, well, tomorrow we got the Detroit Tigers Atlanta Braves again at 1:05. The Ponco 400.
Keep going.
Don't make fun of me, okay? At 1 o'clock. Cherryville at Rutherford County at 6:45. Maiden at Shelby Post 82 at 6:45, and Lincoln County at Union County at 6:45.
Terry brought me some super secret Max Preps notes. So.
And Kevin will tell you, depending on what happens today in the state tournament, there could be some Sunday games.
Right.
So
and what the thing about it is, we don't know. Everybody's like, what's Sunday? We don't know time. We don't know field. We're guessing same field, but Terry Zebulon, the Mudcats have a game tomorrow, so they don't know because if one of those games, something happens with that. Well, what the times are, the field conditions or what's going to happen with that. So you've got a big situation maybe with that. All the softball games, all the baseball games were rained out at some point yesterday, so nothing got completed last night. So the Athletic Association is going to be a little busy today. So I guess if I ask them if I can have anything extra, they're going to say no to me today, Ken. So
let me ask you a question, Terry. You might know the answer to this. If
you don't know the answer to any questions, you just prove it.
If rain affects them big time, they've got to get this in on Sunday.
Yeah.
Is there a situation where if it really affects them and they can't get a third game in and it's tied 1-1, they go back to who won the first game? Have you ever seen that happen in the playoffs?
I have never.
That's a Legion situation.
I know, but I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
They're not going to probably wait till Monday to get it in. But and like I say, that's probably not going to happen. But I'm just saying, if they couldn't get it in because of weather.
And you also have to understand, next week is exams.
That's what I'm
for
saying.
A lot of students.
They really need to get it done on Sunday for sure, I would think.
All right, so tune in today. I'll have the broadcast. We'll try to get out. Or we'll try to get broadcast as early as possible. We don't know the setup situation. If we'll have time to start early, we will. If we start, no, Terry, you don't get these tickets. I got the answer. Somebody actually won. They don't want me to say their name on the radio, and they got the name that you didn't, Terry.
Well, they probably didn't get my other name.
They got the name. Well, they got 3 of the 4.
I got 3 of the 4.
But so Terry, so the trivia question was, since Jordan retired, four players have been in every single final. Well, not every single final. How do you word that? Since then, 1 of 4 players have been in every finals since Jordan retired. I only needed 3 for you to win Hickory Crawdad's tickets. Now, Terry would have won his tickets by his guesses alone. But, Terry, tell me your original guesses on your sheet.
Okay, my first guess is, and I was, just like anybody else, I took LeBron. Wrong. There you go.
Wasn't supposed to spoil it yet, Terry.
Well, Kobe, Tim, and Curry. Those were my next 3.
Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Steph Curry, and LeBron were his guesses, and he was wrong. He won the tickets if he would have been guessing, but he was wrong.
But that was my first
all
guess.
4.
Now, this other person who won, was it the first guess, second guess, third guess?
Now, Terry went through the whole list marking off people, and it took him forever to even figure out that LeBron was the one he needed to mark off. That's tough, isn't it? That's the trick of the question, isn't it?
Because, everybody's going to put LeBron.
Think about that. Since Jordan retired, they could have had every single finals without LeBron James.
And we did this year.
And you wouldn't have known. Well, that was that should have been the clue to people what was going on there, maybe. But they didn't add that up because Steph's been to 5 straight. LeBron's been to 8. Well, who did LeBron play in those first few there before? Then you got to cross people over with Duncan, and then so Terry marked out. It ended up trying to squeeze Dirk in there instead of LeBron because he thought if I take LeBron out, that's how that works, right?
I threw Dirk on account of that's your player. I said, well, maybe it's Dirk. Maybe he wants his own player in there.
I wasn't that sneaky on this. No, I didn't want. I didn't get Dirk in there. It wasn't. And you're kind of barking up the right tree, Terry. So I'm going to give you the hint. I haven't told you the winner's name yet, or who the 4th person was yet. So Kobe, Duncan, and Steph. Who's the 4th? Here's the hint.
He's a Hall of Famer.
You got the right series.
I got the right series.
Wrong player with Dirk.
Ooh.
That's a pretty good hint there.
Ooh, you got the right series, the wrong player.
Now we're talking about the Dallas Mavericks. They haven't had many great players.
Now you got the wrong team.
Yeah.
Still Houston.
Oh.
Houston?
No. Who did Dirk beat? He beat Miami. I got to go, Terry.
I know.
It's like Terry trying to answer. This is like Terry trying to answer our answer about Star Wars.
I would have never picked Dwayne Wade.
Finally got it.
I would have never picked him.
He's Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, I would have never picked him.
The winner had Duncan, Steph, and D Wade, and Kobe was the 4th one. Terry would have never got to Dwayne Wade. He was about to go down Jason Kidd Lane and Jason Terry Lane.
I would have never picked him because I know when he was there, it was all LeBron.
Yep. But you got to remember, he won championship before
LeBron.
And that's the one, really. When I said the same series, that was the trick, though. It wasn't from that series, technically. It was from the one before when he won earlier.
Well, that's when we sat in here before, and Ken said, sometimes you have to overthink, and that's when we took LeBron out. Yeah.
We've had 18 championships, and you could have took LeBron James' name out of it. It wouldn't have mattered. All right, guys, we had a fun sports day. Tune in 2 o'clock today, or 1:30. 1:45 today on WLON. We got Braves baseball, WCSL, and racing on WCSL today. And then on WHS tonight, we'll have Ken Link and Danny Aker doing WHS baseball here in Cleveland County. So you Cleveland County folks will get a special treat today. You don't know how much you get to listen to Ken and Danny. Most people definitely don't get to listen to them together.
Great place to do the game.
There you go.
All right, guys, we'll see you guys next week. JP, you ready? He's ready. He's got to go to a what is it, Terry? A Comic-Con?
Whatever he said it was. Just have a great day.
Terry, before we go, I want you to spell for me Pasco Siakam.
Okay, I will. So we're going down the road.
Draymond Green, that's how you spell it. You better not get used by Siakam anymore, or they're going down. All right, we'll be back next week. KTCBroadcasting.com.
The Belt Car Show is back at Classic Ford Lincoln in Shelby. The Belt Car Show returns this Saturday, June 1st, and you're invited. Come see the classics at Classic Ford Lincoln. Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to come and join the boss as we broadcast live from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. We'll have free Dairy Queen hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks. Plus, register to win some great prizes. And just listen to this. Classic Ford Lincoln will be giving away Mark Conforzi's limited edition laminated Afterglow Mustang hood. Custom wrapped laminated with Afterglow artwork. That at $3,600. That's right, $3,600.